it's Melanie. Happy Tuesday. So as you saw by the title, this is the Beauty Brand Superstars tag. And this tag was created by my friend Stephanie Marie. And I will, of course, link Stephanie's channel down below as well as her video. She came up with this tag a couple weeks ago, and as soon as I saw it hit my inbox, I was like, that's a really good idea. So the whole idea behind this tag, why Stephanie created it, was to basically talk about our favorite brands and what the like superstar or standout products are from each of these brands. So I decided to have a mix of hair care, skincare, and makeup in here because I kind of tend to love all things beauty. So I decided to grab a little bit for each category, and I'm going to be, of course, linking everything down below. So I tried to just pull a couple of things for each brand, but in some of the skincare stuff, there might be just a little bit more. So, but I will just go ahead and dive right in. Again, if you are not already subscribed to Stephanie Marie, you absolutely should be. She is just a really great person, but I also find just so much amazing information on her channel. So if you are looking to add to your subscription list, definitely check out Stephanie. Okay, I'm going to start with hair care. And a lot of this stuff, for those of you that watch me regularly, this is not going to be new. Most of this stuff you've seen me talk about multiple times over and over again. So this is just me stressing one more time that these are things that I just can't be without. So Pureology. I recently, in the last few months, have fallen in love with the Pureology hair care line, and more specifically the Hydrate line for their shampoo and conditioner. I only brought the shampoo in here today, but the conditioner I also really love from this line. I don't love the fragrance of either the shampoo or the conditioner, but I love what it does for my hair. My hair, because it is naturally gray, can get really dry really quickly, and a lot of shampoos that I used to use in the past now just make my hair feel like straw. This does not. I also really love the leave-in hair beautifier from the Color Fanatic line from Pureology. Absolutely fantastic, as well as the Silk Botifier, which is their volumizing mousse. Absolutely love it. I will link all those things down below. There have been some people who have said in comments in the past that the Pureology Hydrate line actually dried their hair out. I have not had that similar experience. To me, it just intensely hydrates my hair. But obviously everybody's hair type is different. My hair is no longer color treated. This just is natural. And yeah, I don't know, it works for me, and I absolutely love it. So there's that. MrKongsMom. Let's get into some skincare. So the Preempt series is a line of products that I tried from MrKongsMom over the last, 6 to 8 months. I have really fallen in love with so much from that line, but I went ahead and only picked like one standout product from the Preempt line, and it really is their eye brightening, or their brightening eye cream. I love this. I have been using this morning and night for months, and I just have noticed how much smoother and how much brighter and how much softer my under eye area looks since using this product. It is something that I will absolutely repurchase when I run out of some of my other eye creams. I'll be sad to finish this up, but it'll be really good to also use a few other things just to see if those other products can maintain the results of this, or or if I should just go back to using this because it just works so extremely well. So, but as of right now, I've absolutely fallen in love with this, and I probably will repurchase it in the future. I just can't see myself staying away from it for too long, to be totally honest. So that is definitely a superstar for me. Drunk Elephant. I love so much from the Drunk Elephant skincare line, the C Firm A Day Serum, the TLC Framboos. Love both of those products. I will link those down below. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I've talked about those products a lot in the past and I adore them, but if I had to just pick one thing, it would be the virgin marula oil. I just love this stuff, you guys. It is a really expensive facial oil. I will not deny that. And you can get cheaper options. If it's not in your budget, you don't have to buy this marula oil. But for me personally, I've tried some less expensive options and they just don't perform the same way. They don't absorb as easily. They don't feel as hydrating on my skin. There's just something about this oil, you guys. It is really special. It is worth the investment on my end, and I will continue to purchase this in the future. It is something that I love to put on after I put on all of my other skincare to sort of lock everything in, add some extra hydration. It helps to calm down the oiliness that I tend to naturally get in my skin. I have extremely oily skin, but ever since using facial oils, I've noticed a big difference in terms of my skin sort of slowing the production of my own like natural oils down just a little bit. It's still not at a normal oily level, but it's so much better than what it used to be. I don't think I'll ever go back to not using facial oils, so I love that. Paula's Choice. There's 3 products. These are not new. You guys know that I swear by all 3 of these. Resist 10% Niacinamide Booster. This has actually shrunk my pores. I love this product. Yes, there are cheaper niacinamide options out there. There is one from The Ordinary that I tried and I hated the texture of it. It made me break out. Didn't like it. This is fantastic. It is worth every penny. The Super Light Daily Wrinkle Defense is my everyday SPF. It has an SPF of 30 and it has a little bit of a tint. And I swear by this for my oily skin. It's the only SPF that I've ever used that doesn't clog my pores, that doesn't make me break out. It's just the best ever. Resist BHA 9 is what I use to keep my blackheads at bay. So I don't tend to be like pimple prone, I am blackhead prone. I have really enlarged pores, and if I do not stay on top of using a beta hydroxy acid or salicylic acid, those suckers want to come back immediately. So BHA 9 is now a maintenance product for me. For the first few months, I did use it almost every single day. It helped to eradicate the blackheads from my face, and now using it just a couple times a week is more than enough to keep them away, and I will not be without that. All right, let's get into some makeup. Laura Geller. I love so much from Laura Geller. I don't think she does mascaras very well. I've never really liked very many of her mascaras, but the one product that I just, you know it's coming, that I just will not ever be without, even though it is not the perfect color match for me, is her Balance and Brighten. This is her powder foundation. This is like a super sized from QVC. This is not normally the size that it comes in, but this powder foundation just looks beautiful on my skin. I do have to color correct a little bit, which is not ideal. I wish that she would come out with a fair yellow toned option. This is very beige, very neutral, almost leaning on like the pinkier side of things. And my skin has a lot of yellow undertones. I can correct this and make it work for me, but it just makes my skin look so beautiful and soft and pretty. It provides coverage, it's buildable coverage. I can have really light coverage on days where I'm like, I just don't care. On days where I have a few blemishes or whatever that I want to cover up, this will cover them up. It never looks cakey or heavy. It's just beautiful. This is one of like Laura Geller's rockstar products, and if you've never tried it and you want to try powder foundation, I feel like this is the place to start. Okay, let's do Tarte. So I do love the Tarte 12-hour Amazonian clay blushes. I think those are wonderful. But when I think Tarte and what I love, it is this brow powder. You guys know I've been using this for a very long time. I do believe they are actually discontinuing this, unfortunately. It's in the sales section on the Tarte website. I used to be able to buy this at Ulta and Sephora, actually, for that matter. It is no longer available at either store. It's just on their website. I do have a couple backups. I feel like I want to buy a couple more. This Amazonian Clay Volumizing Brow Powder is absolutely incredible. It does really volumize my brow hairs, and it makes getting ready so easy. I just take this Smashbox number 12 brow brush, put a little bit on, and I'm done. That's it. Now, in all fairness, I do have some microblading. A lot of my microblading has faded by now, but it's still very easy for me to go in and just brush this into my brows. I love it. And this color gray, nobody has a shade of gray like this. I wish that more companies would think about the fact that there's a lot more of us out there now with gray hair. It's becoming a little bit more of a norm, a little bit more accepted, and people are okay with their gray hair. And you know, you can't necessarily keep your old brow powder or your old brow pencils when you have gray hair. You have to adjust the tone of some of these products, and for me this gray is an absolute perfect fit for my hair color. I've just never found anything that has replaced this, which makes me extra sad that they're discontinuing it. So, not that Tarte is listening, but if you are, please just keep this. At least keep the gray. Okay, Becca. There's actually a few things that I like from Becca. I'm not huge on their primers. They work okay for me. And their powders are really nice. And obviously their highlighters are beautiful. I love Moonstone. It's gorgeous. I have it. I also have Opal. But when I think Becca, I love Becca's blushes. But they're mineral blushes, not the ones that have a lot of shimmer in them. Just these original blushes. This one here is Flower Child. I also have Wild Honey. I have like Songbird. There's a few others. And they're so pretty, you guys. These blushes just go on like a dream. They're not overly shimmery, the ones that have shimmer in them. They wear all day on me. They're absolutely beautiful blush products. And while I don't like their more shimmery options, I know that a lot of you guys have tried some of those newer releases from them and absolutely love them. So just Becca for blush in general, I feel like you can't go wrong. If you find a color that you really like, it can just become like your everyday like go-to, and these just really are incredible. Another line I wanted to mention that I actually already have packed away for our upcoming move is Hourglass. Hourglass blushes. Ugh, the ambient lighting blushes. You guys, I love the ambient lighting blushes. Mood Exposure is my favorite, by far my favorite beautiful mauve blush from them. There is something about the glow and just the perfect amount of color that just rocks my world. If you've never tried an Hourglass blush, specifically the ambient lighting blushes, I highly, highly recommend them. They're so beautiful. And then the last brand that I wanted to mention, because I can feel a coughing attack coming on, I'm still kind of sick, is Marc Jacobs. Actually, I lied. Okay, before we get into Marc Jacobs, I do want to mention Lorac. Lorac specifically for their eyeshadow products. Anytime Lorac releases an eyeshadow palette, I'm usually all over it, specifically these Pro palettes. I have the original Pro, you know, with just the 2 rows, the Pro 2, Pro 3, and then every Pro palette except Mega palette, except 2, the blue one that they came out with. I just wasn't interested in those colors, but I love Lorac eyeshadows. I know these are not for everybody. They really are not. They do tend to be a little bit more powdery. By the way, I think this one is actually available on their website again, the original one. If you never got it, I think it's there. And they also have the 4 more readily available. Again, that is something that is already packed up. I'm looking at my boxes over here, just boxes of makeup. But yeah, I love this formulation. It can be a little bit more work because it can be a little bit more powdery, but the pigmentation, the color payoff, the shimmers, just the eye looks that I get with these always are some of my favorites, and you guys always give me amazing compliments whenever I wear any of these palettes. You love the color combinations, you love how natural they look, and yeah, I just don't think you can go wrong with Lorac eyeshadows. But you have to be willing to deal with the fallout. I will give you that. If that is what you hate about those palettes, I will hand that to you. It's not a big deal for me because I use powder foundation, so after I'm done, I just brush it away, and nothing sticks to my powder foundation, so it just, you know, that excess fallout I can just kind of brush away. I would probably suggest doing your eyes before your foundation if you use liquid. I think that's a good rule of thumb with liquid foundation anyway, you know, just in case you do have fallout. So anyway, let's talk Marc Jacobs. Okay, this is the one that I just could not narrow down to one or two. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I'm gonna start with the Air Blushes. Gorgeous, amazing formulation, and you are getting a mix of highlighter which gradiates into blush. I love mixing all of these. I love just concentrating on this end for the blush. I love using this as a highlight down the bridge of my nose and on my Cupid's bow. This is Flesh and Fantasy. It's my favorite. It's actually my only one, but I want to try more of the colors. It's just that they are super expensive, but they are worth it if you find a color that you really like. This is a fantastic everyday color. Velvet Noir mascara. Right now I'm using up one of my 100 point perks from Sephora, but I do have several of the full-size backups. This brush, the formula, everything about it, it gives me super volumized lashes. I'm absolutely in love with this mascara. I will never not purchase this, even though it's 28 bucks a tube. It is 100% worth it to me. The look that I get with my lashes it's just my favorite lash look. I like really separated, full, lush lashes. I don't necessarily need long lashes. I need full, lush lashes. That is the lash look I prefer. And lastly, the Lamarck lip creams. Most of my bigger tubes are already packed up, but I do have this little guy from the Cream and Sugar collection. I will link that collection down below because I really do love this nude. They're just beautiful. They're really thick, opaque. They last on your lips a really long time. They're not drying. If you really liked the NARS Audacious lipsticks, you will probably like these. These are actually more hydrating than the NARS Audacious. I do realize those were just a little bit drying. I still love the formula. I don't purchase them anymore. NARS is not cruelty free any longer, so I don't purchase from them. But anyway, the Lamarck, those are gorgeous. And then the enamored glosses. This right here is Pretty Thing. I also love Sugar Sugar. I love the Cream and Sugar, and Skin Deep is another one that I absolutely adore. These are just wonderful glosses, you guys. Shoot, now that brings me to Buxom. Ugh, the Buxom glosses are amazing too. The Buxom glosses, the Buxom lip creams. Dolly is my favorite shade. You guys have heard me talk about Dolly for years. So, I mean, I could just go on and on. Honestly, I feel like there is so much that I could talk about, but I'm gonna have to like cut it off here because one, I feel this coughing attack coming on and I really don't want to have to like break up this video in any kind of way. So anyway, I will link everything down below for you guys. Those of you that have been with me for a while know that I have used many of these products for just forever, and I absolutely swear by them. And I am someone who is very loyal. When I find something that works, I will use it over and over and over again. I also love to incorporate new things, but I'm pretty loyal. When something works for me, I don't care what the cost is, I will pay for it. If I love it and I know that I'll use it, it is worth the investment for me. So anyway, thank you, Stephanie, for tagging me in this video, and let me know what some of your superstar products are down below in the comments. I always love reading your guys' comments. So thanks so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.